Okay, so I was just got in my car. I'm just gonna make a video on why the BRZ, or why the Focus ST over the BRZ, and this storm rolled in. It's literally one of the biggest dust storms I've seen since I've been here. I've been here since summer of 2014, so this is pretty crazy. But since my last video, or not my last video, but one of the last videos that I posted was on why I chose the Focus ST over the WRX. Got a ton of comments, it's getting some views, so I thought I might as well go ahead and make a video on why I chose the Focus ST over the BRZ, FRS, and in Europe the GT86. So hopefully we make it through this storm, but let's get into it. So just starting with the exterior of the BRZ, I'm just going to call it the BRZ because I think that's what I would have gotten over the FRS. So we're just going to reference the BRZ, but I'm talking about the GT86, and I'm just referring to that as one whole. From the outside, I think I would say that I like the BRZ better. It has the classic rear-wheel drive, front-engine setup with a long hood look to it. It has nice accents both in the front and the rear. They also fix the exhaust pipes on the back to make them a little bigger and fill out that hole for the dual outlets. So I think that looks a lot better now. The only thing I would really knock it on, and they haven't even fixed it yet, is the wheels. The wheels are so bad on that car. The 2017 model looks a lot better, but the wheels on the 2015, or what is it, 2012 when it came out? I'm not 100% sure, but they were awful. They looked like Prius wheels, and it was just miserable to look at. And like, I don't want to have to buy my car and then immediately buy wheels for it. I want it to come with the wheels that I really like. So that was a frustrating point. The one fix there is the TRD wheels. They're these black 18-inch alloys that look really nice, but that was on the FRS. And if I wanted to add those, it was like a $2,000 or $1,800 upgrade. At that point, you might as well just get a nice set of aftermarket wheels that you really like. From the outside, I think the FRS is a better looking car because I would say overall, if you were to look at if you were to sit the FRS and the Focus ST side by side, a lot of people would be like, FRS. I mean, maybe 75% of people might say the FRS is a better looking car, and I really can't disagree with you. Now, here's where it again turns as to why I didn't go with that car. I would say, yeah, so like I've said, the exterior, FRS wins or BRZ wins, but on the interior of the car, I came from a 2011 Civic Si coupe. One of the problems I had was people always getting in the back, whether you're going to work at lunch, whether you're going to lunch at work, or you know, you just have a third person with you. And I always like to drive because I enjoy driving. I enjoy being in control and driving. A lot of people are like, oh, I have to drive. I love it. So I like just taking that off people's hands. So on the interior of that car, I was looking at a Hyper Blue BRZ, and I just loved sitting in that car. The seating position, the wheel, the shifter, everything feels amazing. It's perfect. And the people that say, oh, well, it's slow, you're totally missing the point of the car. I mean, just the way those seats grab you. They're not as aggressive as these. They're a little more comfortable than these Recaros probably on long trips. And they're a little more livable day to day because they're just not as heavily bolstered. You can kind of jump in, jump out. These, it's a whole process to get out. You have to claw your way out. Really liked the seats. The head unit, it was fine. I think you can get upgraded sound system, fine, whatever. And I also really like the dials in the car. It was really good. So interior wise, this is a nicer interior, but the BRZ just, it had everything you'd want in it, and it was the quality that you'd pretty much expect. I didn't feel like it was such an expensive car and then I was getting a shit interior. The interior was really, came right up to my expectations. The head unit was fine, and so forth. Now, I live in Phoenix, like I've said a million times, and a lot of the roads out here, me being in the Tempe area, are they're just flat and I'm just merging. For example, when I go to work, it's just hop on the 10, then I'm on the 202, and it's all interstate driving. So it was kind of, when I took that car out of the lot, I test drove the FRS and the BRZ several times. I was just kind of, the power didn't even feel as quick as my, I could definitely get air over that. The power didn't even feel as quick as my Civic Si, yet the power on paper was more. I think the reason for that was the gearing, and this was the huge issue for me, is if I'm just heard a fucking siren and shit my pants. But here's where the biggest issue came for me, and that was purchasing a car that was going to be about, so the Hyper Blue was marked at like $28,000, 28 and some change, and he would have given it to me for $27,000 on the number. Obviously tax, title, license added on top of that, but $27,000 is what I would have been paying for the car. What it came down to for me, driving the ST and then driving the BRZ, was all that fun power that's in the BRZ is for curvy back roads. So if I was in somewhere like Western Pennsylvania or maybe Flagstaff, Arizona, where it's a lot of curvy, hilly roads, you can really have fun with that car, and the handling on it is so much fun. It's just so hard to even describe to people that are just looking at the power like, oh, it's slow. Yeah, it's not the quickest car in a straight line, but the handling makes up for that 10 times over. And there's even times when I drive this car and I see an FRS, and I'm always like looking at it like it's a Ferrari or something, because I like it that much. But because of where I live, being able to step on this and get up to 80 miles an hour like that is really what I need and what I'm going to be having the most fun with. And I can still take it on the back roads or on mountain canyon roads and whip it around and go fast. The only thing is I can't slide my back end out, and that's like the most fun thing you can do in a car. So that kind of sucks, but that's a trade-off I had to do for the power. And there's a lot of times when I look at that and be like, man, that would be a lot of fun. But I would have issues with, when I'm merging, to really have to work to get the power. In this, it's a torquey engine. It has 273 foot-pounds of torque. So I just get on it a little, just tap the accelerator. I'm in 5th gear right now doing 40, 50. Like, so nice how this car moves quickly, and you don't have to work for it. In a Civic Si, in a BRZ, you have to work for the power. You have to downshift, you have to get ready to just get it geared up and get the engine moving. And this, you don't have to do that. So that was pretty much what it came down to for me. I also didn't want to get in the pit of tuning the BRZ or FRS, because I just want to get it out of the box and enjoy it right now. It's not that I'm against tuning cars, it's just that I owe money on this car, so it's really hard for me to justify going in and spending more on this and not putting it towards the debt that I have on it. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I kind of just want to pay it off, see what's out there, and get something else. I don't know that I want to put a ton of time and labor into this, and then I end up selling it and lose a ton of value on it because it's tuned. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. But overall, I think if you're looking at the Focus ST and you're looking at the BRZ, because they're closely priced together. They're both, I think the BRZ starts at about $25,000. This starts at $25,000. So there's probably a lot of people that are looking at this car and that car. So my advice to you is obviously drive them both, but think about what you're going to be doing on a day-to-day basis. If you're living in an area where it's, you know, like Phoenix, it's a grid, it's everything straight, or interstate, you're probably going to have more fun driving a higher power car that you can open up when you're merging, easily pass people, and still it's an efficient car. It's actually, I think, more efficient than the BRZ, and it weighs 2,800. It weighs about 500 pounds more, and it's still more efficient. That's crazy. So that's what I think you should consider. Either way, you're not going to go wrong. And like with the WRX video, either way, you're not going to go wrong. They're both great cars. And I was actually surprised that the comments were as docile as they were. For a while, it was like real calm. Even people that own WRXs were like, hey, I own a WRX and I like your video. I was like, you know what? Thumbs up to you. But after a while, it was like, if I chip tuned it, I could run laps around your car. Just do a chip intake exhaust, I'd fucking blow your doors off. It's just like, I wasn't talking about tuning the car. I was just telling you why I chose my car over another car, and people started shitting themselves. They shat themselves on the video. Unbelievable. I feel bad for them, really. But I really appreciate the support. I hope you guys like these videos. I know these are what I was looking up when I was choosing what car to get. Also for reference, this car, I got it for $29,300. We'll just say $29,300 flat. ST3, everything, sunroof, seats, as you can see, whatever. Just so when you're in there negotiating, you can say, you know, I know he got it for this, so that can help you guys. Also, I should have gotten it at $28,815. That's how it was advertised online at the one dealership, but I hated the salesman, so I was willing to pay more at another dealership, so I had to pull it over there. And I'm going to make a video on negotiating and kind of how to, you know, when you're going to buy your first car or second car or whatever, just some tips, because I have some good tips that I learned from a friend that helped me get a pretty good deal. So, again, appreciate the support. I hope you guys liked the video and the footage of this massive haboob or dust storm rolling through, and there's plenty more to come. Thanks for watching.